guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's Newsstand, and because the Batman is doing so well in the box office with fans and critics alike, I want to talk about what we could possibly see in a sequel. Now, Matt Reeves has already kind of spoken about this, and one villain that he did mention will be on my list, but I wanted to do a top 5 of villains that could be used in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, and it would make sense, and it would work with the realistic element that Matt Reeves drove home in this movie. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below who you think we should see for a follow-up for number 2, but let's start this right off, because we've already got teases for what to expect. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment down below, all that fun chilling stuff. Now let's talk about the tease that we've already received, and that is Hush. I absolutely love Hush as a villain. I think he is one of the more underrated villains in the DCU. Now, we have seen him come back recently and then disappear again, but Thomas Elliot, Hush, was originally introduced in 2011 and actually really well done in his own storyline. Hush, right? It was such a great fake out. A lot of people really enjoyed that Jim Lee beautiful art, and it's still known to this day to be one of the better graphic novels that really brought Batman as a big, huge title back around. So Hush in this movie would absolutely work, and we're already seeing teases for it. If you remember, now I want to warn you here, going forward, there may be mild spoilers for the Batman movie. Earmuffs, click away, come back later, all that fun stuff. Thomas Elliot's father was actually teased as the reporter that found out everything when it comes to the Arkhams. And the Arkhams and the Waynes, you know, being one and the same, right? And marrying and all that fun stuff. So we do know that was an Elliot. We do know that there is a possibility that even with this weird, and I love the idea, we talked about it in my live stream last night, that maybe there's even a fan theory out there that the Riddler isn't actually the Riddler. He could be Hush, you know, your identity thief. You never know. I would absolutely love that. I think that would be a great long play, and it would be a great fake out. Would love to see Hush. Now, let's move on because I have 4 more. Mr. Freeze. This one has also been spoken about from Matt Reeves and some of the other cast. Mr. Freeze would be a great grounded character. Now, I don't know how they would use his ice technology. I don't know how they would do that, but they did do it in Gotham, and it was done really well. It could be grounded, and it's a story that is extremely relatable. It is a tale as old as time. It is a love story. The man in this situation doing everything he can to save his wife. Everybody can relate to that. And I love that. He's doing everything the wrong way, but he's doing what he can to save Nora. She's amazing. She's stuck in this glass ice, and she was dying beforehand. And if he unfreezes her, she'll die again. All he wants to do is save her life. Now, I think a lot of people have fond memories of Batman the Animated Series Heart of Ice episode that really brought Mr. Freeze back around. Yes, he's been around since the 60s, but that is so nostalgic. It would be great fan service. And I think a lot of people would really enjoy seeing that live action version, even if Mr. Freeze is a little bit more over the top than some of the other villains that I will mention on here. So let's go to number 3. I have Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz would be amazing. He's another one that is really underrated. And this Batman was the first time we got a true detective story. Now, he wasn't the world's greatest detective yet. We're talking about year 2, but we got a detective story. And this may have to be more of a side character because I don't know that Victor could hold a whole movie, but I do think it is a good character for the detective aspect of Batman. Look, what is this man doing? He's killing all these women. He's this prolific serial killer that is going around and then cutting himself every single time he has a new victim. Why is he doing this? What does he suffer from? And it could also tie into the Arkham Asylum show that they are spinning off of this. So Victor Zsasz was great. Another one that was on Gotham. He was amazing. The actor that did that part was so good. He was oddly funny but menacing at the same time. Now, we also saw him in Birds of Prey, and that was not Victor Zsasz. I will absolutely fight you on that one and punch you in the throat. He was not Victor Zsasz. I don't know who that was, but it wasn't Zsasz. So let's talk about one everybody will disagree with me on, but I don't want to see Joker, and I know we did get a teaser for Joker in the actual movie. I think a lot of people have said and agreed with me that that was weak. That was some weak sauce. It was not needed in this movie. And a lot of people, I don't know if it's more of the massive fans that are sick of him or if it's normies also, but Joker is one that's used time and time and time again. That's why it was refreshing to see Riddler front and center. But let's not do Joker. Let's do Harley Quinn. Let's keep Joker in the Arkham Asylum show, the Arkham Asylum spinoff, and let's make Harley be the one that wears the pants in that relationship. Let's bring her front and center and have her use not only the crazy side of her, not only the side that does random stuff or causes chaos, but let's have her use her brain. She is extremely intelligent. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't see that. Now, this is the least likely, and of course, I'm going to put it on my list. I love Harley Quinn. This is the least likely than anything we'll see. Harley Quinn to Warner Brothers is a cash cow that's LOL so random, right? We don't actually get to see an amazing Harley Quinn unless we're talking Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. I think that was the best rendition we've gotten thus far. But it would be nice to see Harley out on her own, away from Joker, completely emancipated from him, and see what she can do. Now, my last one here is going to be a little bit of a couple, because I think you need to add more with Deacon Blackfire. Deacon Blackfire is such a terrifying villain that this religious zealotry that we see used as excuses for bad behaviors could work so well in a story like this. But Deacon Blackfire really hasn't been front and center as much as he should be. We've seen him do brainwashing and occult rituals and, worship and human sacrifice. We've seen these things, but we need a little bit more to add to that. And this would also be in the perfect time to bring in the Order of Saint Dumas. Now, if you remember, the Order of Saint Dumas is a faction of the Knights Templar. They were run by the man which was named Dumas, basically. His name was actually Stephen, but he was called Dumas. He was the leader, and that's how we got Azrael. We actually had Mike Shaw take over Dumas for a time, but, Azrael was a really good character that came out of this, and we could see the beginning of some sort of Bat family, or you can go straight up villain with Azrael. It just really depends on how you want to go. You don't even need Azrael to introduce the idea of Order of Saint Dumas. You can just introduce it behind Joseph and Joseph Blackfire and really let him shine. Go with the crazy, go with the conspiratorial, go with the human rituals. That is grounded, but still terrifying. I think it could be really good. Now, likely, what do I think it'll be? Probably Hush. Probably Hush, which I'm totally okay with. That's great. I love it. I absolutely do. I think that would be so fun to see. Or Mr. Freeze. Those are the two most likely that we'll see going in the future. But make sure you guys are subscribed. I will have a couple more videos related to the Batman, but I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.